You see, this is why we need to take care of our elderly.
Just manslaughter, right? I mean,
oh no, not manslaughter. No. This is guilty for murder. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree murder.
Congresswoman, what happens if we do not get what you just told? What should the people do? What should protesters on the street do?
I didn't hear you.
What happens?
What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business. I know this, we've got to stay in the street, and we've got to demand justice.
As a black man, despite all of the efforts, I feel like nothing changes. And George Floyd is waking so many people up, yet nothing has happened despite the rhetoric. Like what needs to happen that's different this year than all the years before?
We're looking for a guilty verdict. We're looking for a guilty verdict, and we're looking to see if all of the talk that took place and has been taking place after they saw what happened to George Floyd, if nothing does not happen, then we know that we've got to not only stay in the street, but we've got to fight for justice. But I am very hopeful, and I hope that we're going to get a verdict that will say guilty, guilty, guilty.
Yeah. I mean, my approach now for that.
Maxine Waters is doing something totally different. Okay, she's not doing anything different. She's doing the same. She's inciting riots. Remember that stuff that she kept saying that Donald Trump was doing? Okay, let me show you this.
In a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd, and you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Remember that? Now that's Maxine Waters. Now she was the first person in line to file impeachment proceedings against the former president. Why? Because he said this. And let me preface this video. This is the video from the impeachment trial. Now, on the left, you're going to see the impeachment trial video that the Democrats chopped and screwed. Okay? And on the right, you're going to see the actual speech. And they say he incited violence. And I want you to do the comparisons. And let me know in the chat below, in the comments below, let me know if you feel that he incited a riot.
We're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down to the Capitol. But I think right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated. Lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Okay, after this video, later that day, on that day, he gets on Twitter and he drops this video.
That was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home, and go home in peace.
Not even 7 hours later, the video was pulled. They didn't want the world to see him trying to react to what was going on at the Capitol. But it wasn't by his doing. The entire thing was set up. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Biden was denied entry into the Pentagon.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it happened. Now, would this happen to any other president? I've never heard of this. I've never heard of going to bases and the picture of the president not being posted, or the president being denied use of certain transportation vehicles. I'm trying to be cryptic, but my channel is still in its infancy stage, so please forgive me if I'm being too cryptic. But anyway, it goes. The next time he flies, look at the code sign. That's the only thing I'm going to say. And if he, especially at the fact that he's carrying his own bags into the plane, is that really Alpha Frank 1? Or is it a duplicate that's painted to look as if it was? Anyway, go. I don't want to get to that. But check this out. Hold on. Let me change this real quick. All right. Biden denied entry into the Pentagon. Yeah. It says here, the man who calls himself President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden, was denied entry to the Pentagon on Friday, shortly after meeting the Democratic lawmakers to discuss a more restrictive gun control legislation. Biden went to Arlington, Virginia to advocate the merits of his plan, withdrawal of all the armed troops from Afghanistan. He also sought to convince the military leaders that Iran's decision to enrich weapons-grade plutonium to 60% did not threaten United States interests, said the administration source speaks. Now, about this part right here, all right, I'm not a fan of this. Hold on, this part right here, I'm not a fan of that because everything was set up for him to pull those troops out once he took office. The last administration had already set up the transfer of those troops. They've already moved over 50% of the equipment they needed away from Afghanistan. The only thing left was to remove the final equipment and the remainder of the troops out of Afghanistan. A real simple task. But from what I'm hearing and reading, Biden is actually increasing the numbers before September 11th. So what that tells me is you're going to be starting something. Yeah, the old Michael Jackson song. He's going to be starting something. And he has those troops there to actually say, hey, it just so happens we did put extra troops there, so I'm glad we did. Yeah. Anyway, and as far as the plutonium, any country that's able to produce plutonium is a threat. Even us. Weapons grade plutonium. You say, oh, it's not going to bother us. You know what? It doesn't matter, because if it didn't come to the United States, yeah, that's fine. But they could hit an ally. And that's what worries me, because just because you don't have an intercontinental ballistic missile or a continental ballistic missile doesn't mean that you can actually bomb. You couldn't bomb an ally like Iraq, or let me see, Japan, or the countries we did the peace agreements with. Look up the Abraham Accords. Yeah, that's the thing that former leader got almost 5 Nobel Peace Prize. A lot of you just didn't know that. Yes, the last administration, the last leader, yeah, Orange Man, he got nominated for 5 Nobel Peace Prize. But you wouldn't know that because the media won't tell you that. Because Orange Man bad in their life. They are doing their best to keep letting you know that that guy is the wrong guy. He's a bad guy. No, he is not. He's not. He is not. And for those who are out there concentrating on the propaganda, like the Chinese news network, or some of your news media, the newspaper media, your local media, they're lying to you. And all it is strategically placed words to convince you that, hey, this guy is bad. If you go back a couple of videos, you'll see when I concentrated on several words in an article, just to let you know how they're trying to steer you to think one direction. Other than that, that's it. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Please comment on this video. And until the next video, peace.